Hi all, I'm Karina Parker with JCAL Digital, and today we are going to be talking about folk music from Indigenous America. The first known people in America, known as Native or Indigenous Americans, have been on this land for over 20,000 years. Most of what non-Native Americans know of Indigenous history comes from the 16th century and onward, once European colonists began claiming American land. This was just the beginning of the conflict that exists between Native Americans and the European and American world that has lasted throughout America's history. That being said, Native American music is undoubtedly the first and original music of the Americas. While there are Native American people all over North and South America, both past and present, today we are going to focus on music from three Native American cultures who, like all of these indigenous groups, have a really strong cultural connection with music: the Cherokee, the Navajo, and the Apache people. You will see that many musical traditions in these indigenous groups have very similar musical sounds, instruments, and cultural musical traditions. However, in each section, we are going to learn about specific musical elements that are highlighted in that culture: the Cherokee, the Navajo, or the Apache culture. Let's get started. First, let's start with the Cherokee Nation. The Cherokee tribe is the largest tribe in America today, with over 380,000 citizens. Before American intervention, the Cherokee Nation was located in what is now Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, and North Carolina. But they were moved to a reserved land in Oklahoma. Their original self-given name is the Kituwa people, but they were later named the Cherokee people, which has no meaning in the Kituwa language. Some of the Kituwa people also prefer to be called the Aniawea, which in Kituwa means the real people. Like many indigenous tribes and cultures, including the others that we're going to discuss today, the Cherokee culture has a very strong connection with music. Music is spiritual. It's used to connect with and honor the earth. It's often a large part of traditional ceremonies and celebrations. Music in the indigenous tradition is not written down. Each song is learned and passed down from generation to generation, and it's learned by rote. Learning music by rote means learning music by ear without any written music to help you. In Cherokee music, you will often hear drums, shakers, and rattles, and flutes. We are now going to take a look at some instruments that you will hear in Cherokee music. Like many indigenous and folk traditions around the world, drums play an important part in this music. One particularly interesting drum used in the Cherokee tradition is the water drum. The water drum, we've actually looked at an African type of water drum before in our previous videos, but the Cherokee water drum is made of a wooden or even clay body that's hollowed out with water inside and a deer hide covering. What makes the Cherokee water drum unique is that more water added to the drum will raise the pitch. It'll make the pitch higher. When less water is added or taken away, the pitch of the drum is then lower. Let's take a listen. Now let's look at some shakers and rattles. Rattles are used a lot in the Cherokee music. For instance, even dancers wear rattles on their body or tied to their clothes during traditional celebrations. One very unique type of rattle known in the Cherokee Nation is the turtle shell rattle. These rattles can be played by musicians on a wooden stick or even worn by the dancers. Lastly, let's look at some flutes. Flutes are a huge part of Cherokee music. Most flutes are made from wood, bamboo, or river cane. The oldest Cherokee flutes, though, were even made from deer bone and have been found, and these are some of the oldest indigenous instruments to America. The most common flute looks like a modern-day recorder. It is played in the front of the musicians with the mouth hole at the top and the finger holes along the front of the instrument's body. Let's listen to the Cherokee flautist Tommy Wildcat and some of his flute music. Now that we have listened to some awesome flute music from the Cherokee people, let's make our own flute. There are so many ways to make different types of flutes at home, and you can look this up if you like this activity. But today we're going to make a flute that needs a piece of paper, rubber band and or tape, and some scissors. Okay? The better, more sturdy piece of paper that you can find, the better, like printer paper or anything that's not cardboard, something super hard, as long as you can still fold it into a tube. And please make sure that if you're under the age of 13, around there, that you get your parents' help with using scissors. Once you have collected all of your materials together, we can get started. All right, we got our materials here. I'm using an old piece of sheet music just because it's a little thicker. It's on nicer paper. Got my tape. You can also use rubber bands. And I have my pair of scissors, okay? So this is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and I'm gonna go on the top of the paper where I would start at the top, and I'm gonna make a nice little rolly tube, okay? Not too big, not too small. Okay, that's probably on the smaller side. I wouldn't go any smaller than that, okay? Then we're gonna put 2 pieces of tape on the edges. You can also rubber band them, and some people like to do both, rubber band and tape. It is up to you. We just wanna make sure that the paper stays in place. Like so. Okay. Once you have your tube and it's taped and rubber band and however you want to secure it, we're going to find where we're going to put our top hole at the top, okay? And you want to find the 2 seams. There's going to be an outside seam and an inside seam where the paper ends, okay? My 2 are right here, so I'm going to go the farthest away from them right here, and my hole's going to be right there, okay? So this is where, make sure you have an adult with you and you're using the scissors, okay? About an inch from the top, we're going to do 2 little slits here. 1, and then right underneath it, 2. Okay? We take out that pinch, okay? Then we're gonna go in at the sides and we're gonna cut it so that there's a nice rectangular hole, an inch from the top. All right. Again, making sure that we get that pinch out of the way, like that. Awesome. Now, this is the trickier part, and this is the part that you have to kind of work with. It could take a while for you to get it working, and that is totally okay. All right? So you're going to pull the sheets of the paper besides the very outer layer, okay, into a little bit of a pinch, like so. And pinch the paper, okay? You can use the edge of your scissors as well if you need to get in there. The thicker the paper is, sometimes you have to divide with something a little bit thinner, like scissors or something. Okay, once you have that pinch, your bottom lip's gonna go on the lower side and your outside lip's gonna stay here. Okay, so you're gonna blow through this pinched layer. Okay, again, all of the layers down in the pinch except for the outermost layer of paper. Great. Now what we have to do is we actually have to create space in the tube right underneath the mouth hole, okay? So to do that, I'm gonna stick my scissors in through the pinch, find that first layer of paper and push it down. Get some space between the outside layer and the inside layer, okay? You can even go from the bottom to really open up that air tube in there, okay? Loosening up that paper. This takes a little bit of finagling, okay? Awesome. All right, I'm using one that I made earlier just because the sound's a little bit more strong and you guys will hear it better through the video. So once you're able to get these layers separated, again, you can try pinching it this way to get the air to go through here. Finagle your scissors in there. You gotta work with it a little bit. It'll take a while, but eventually you'll get a nice sound. All right, just like that. Then what you can do, again, find a place away from the seams of the pipe, okay? So I picked this side here, away from the two seams. You don't want it in the center where the air is flowing through because it'll get in the way. Okay, so to the side, okay, and I put a little finger hole. Now, when we press this finger hole, it's gonna change the amount of space and air that's going through the tube, and it's gonna change the pitch. We listen. Now, you can add multiple finger holes. You don't want to get too close up to the side, the top. You can add 2 or 3 here. Again, staying out of the center so that the air can go nicely through the tube, and you can play around with creating different pitches on your homemade flute.
Now let's talk about the Navajo people. The Navajo Nation is established in what is now Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico. And while they are most widely known as the Navajo tribe, their self-given name is Diné, which means up and down, which describes the Diné people as a surface being. They are thought to have arrived in the southwest area of North America around 1,000 years ago, and they have more than 300,000 members today. The Navajo Reservation is the largest reservation in the United States with over 10 million acres of land.
Fun fact, the Navajo people have recently been involved with huge feature films such as Finding Nemo and even the original Star Wars movies to provide a Navajo dubbing for these films. This has given an opportunity to spread access to the language to speakers young and old, and it helps continue keeping this ancient language alive.
Traditional Navajo music is vocal music, with the common instruments like drums, rattles, and flutes as instruments that accompany the voice. The most traditional Navajo music is sacred ceremonial music, and it can last hours at a time, sometimes days. All of this traditional music for these celebrations, like Cherokee music, have been passed down from generation to generation. It is also an important part of Navajo tradition that their ceremonial music is not written down or recorded in respect of the sacred traditions. This common vocal music can be sung by a soloist or by groups, and is often described as chant music. One traditional music is called the shoe game. Every winter, Navajo families and communities play this game accompanied by shoe game songs, where a ball is hidden in a pair of moccasin shoes and is buried into sand. A player from each team, one which is day and one which is night, are chosen to guess which shoe the ball is in. The legend goes that once upon a time, day creatures and night creatures were fighting for who deserved to have the earth, day or night. After playing all throughout the day and all throughout the night, they ended up with the same amount of points, learning that no one can change the earth's natural cycles. Let's listen to traditional shoe songs.
Look at you,
Now that we've heard some songs from this Navajo shoe game, let's talk about a few musical elements that you'll hear in Navajo traditional vocal music. Many songs or chants will use meaningless words or sounds. These words may not have any definition or literal meaning, but they are sounds that are specific to that song and they do not change. They stay with that song forever. These sounds are often onomatopoeias, which is a big word meaning that they sound like what they're trying to describe. For instance, if a song is about a wolf, there may be a howl-like sound. These made-up sounds are used most commonly at the beginning of the song, called a prelude or a refrain, and are followed by verses, using the native language to tell a story, or describe a setting. The singer will alternate between the refrain and the verses, where each verse will add and continue to the story. Let's learn 2 songs that use this vocal tradition. These chants use these made-up sounds to describe one animal, the coyote. Let's get started. As I just said, we are going to learn 2 songs that are all about the coyote songs, and they're 2 very different songs, but they both use these sounds that truly give us an understanding of the wild coyote in a time not like today, where there weren't any sort of huge cities and big settlements. We're going back hundreds and hundreds of years. All right, so this first song uses 2 sounds, okay? We have yay, like in English we'd say Y-E-Y or Y-E-A-H. Remember, these are not written down words of any kind. We're just using our own English language to kind of understand what the pronunciation is going to be like. So we have yay and whoa. W-O, whoa. Yay and whoa. Yay and whoa. Now, the rhythm has this really nice pulsing, continuous beat. Yay, 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 yay. Repeat after me. Yay, 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 yay. Your turn. Yay, 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 yay. That's exactly it. Okay?
And then we do a very similar thing with our whoa sound. Whoa, 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 whoa. Try that. Whoa, 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 whoa. All together, this is just the rhythm. We're not singing yet. We're just using our sounds and our rhythms. We have this. Yay, 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 whoa, 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 yay, 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 whoa, 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 whoa. Awesome. Now let's add some music. Here are the pitches. This is what it's going to sound like on the piano. Alrighty, let's put these things together and let's sing it. I'll sing through it first. Feel free to join me when you are feeling like you've got it. This song is a competitive song. This song is a continual song. It just continues in this nice cycle, okay? So I'm just going to keep going and you join me. Okay? Here we go. Yay, 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 whoa, 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 yay, 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 whoa, 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 yay, 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 whoa, 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 yay, 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 whoa, 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 whoa. And underneath this chant style, the cyclical style of singing that we do here, you would hear drums, you would hear rattles. So as we sing, you can kind of tap your foot along like that drum would be underneath. Yay, 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 whoa, 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 yay, 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 whoa, whoa, whoa. That's exactly it. This next song is a completely different song, but also about the coyote. These sounds, while the first one we get this kind of howl-like sound, in this one we really feel the energy of the coyote, right? That yelping, that traditional high energy spirit that we associate with coyotes, okay? Now this sound is like hey, like R-H-E-Y, hey, how you doing? Hey, 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 oh, hey. Okay? So we got a bunch of heys, some O's in there. Hey, 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 oh, hey. Repeat that after me. Hey, 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 oh, hey. Very nice. Let's do it one more time together. Hey, 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 oh, hey. Okay? Remember, the word is not hey. We are just kind of understanding what these sounds are supposed to be like. These are not words. These aren't written down. They are sounds that we then produce in order to mimic and honor the sounds that the coyote makes. All right, let's listen to what the music sounds like. All together, we put the rhythms, we put the sounds, we put the music together. We have hey, 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 oh, hey, 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 oh, version here that's slightly different, and it sounds like this. Oh hey, 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 oh hey. Let's try singing that with me. Ready? Here we go. Oh hey, 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 oh hey. And then we start again from the top. Let's give it a try. Hey, 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 oh hey, 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 oh hey, 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 oh 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 hey, 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 oh hey. Last time. Hey, 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 oh hey, hey. To end our session today, we are going to talk about the Apache people and their musical traditions. The Apache people are a group of people that have thought to have originally come from Northern America and what's now Canada, but settled in Southwest America and Northern Mexico. The Apache people received that name from the Spanish to mean the enemy. They have many self-given names, such as Indi, meaning the people. The Apache people are made up from many separate independent tribes, divided into Western Apache and Eastern Apache. The Apache people can be found today around the Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Texas, Oklahoma, and Mexico area. The Apache people are distant relatives to the Navajo people and share many similarities in their musical traditions, such as the style of vocal chant music and the traditional instruments used. However, the Apache people are known for a very unique instrument known as the Apache fiddle. The Apache fiddle is called Etsi Uda Ade, meaning wood singing or singing wood. This fiddle is handmade out of agave wood and has 1 or 2 strings. The instrument is called the Apache fiddle because, like a violin, it is played with a bow. This instrument comes from the 18th century. Before we end our session today, I would like to talk about a huge part of Indigenous musical tradition, which includes ceremonial music. One of the most common ceremonies in many Indigenous cultures is a coming-of-age ceremony. The Apache people are known for a celebration for young girls transitioning into womanhood called the Sunrise Ceremony. The Sunrise Ceremony celebrates becoming a woman of the Apache tribe. Each young woman prepares for months before the ceremony, and the ceremony lasts 4 days and honors the 4 stages of life as well as the 4 directions of the earth: north, south, east, and west. The ceremony includes dance, music, gifts, and reenactments honoring the white painted woman. The Sunrise Ceremony is shared with family, friends, and even the larger Apache community. Let's take a look into what this ceremony looks and sounds like.